Namaskar, all of you. Swagatam, Suswagatam, welcome for this August occasion of Golden Jubilee celebrations of our institute. Incidentally, by any chance, amongst you, is there anyone who was there for inaugural session? Inaugural session in 1975. Well, then I am the one. So right from inaugural session and even before the inauguration, the spade work, I was there for every stage of this institute, from its extremely potential state to its actualized state in January 1975. And here I am amongst you, a fortunate one to be for the Golden Jubilee celebration. Therefore, I extend in your language hearty welcome, and in our language, Swagatam, Suswagatam. And I hope that you will carry out golden memories of the Golden Jubilee of our coveted institute, mother institute, beloved institute, revered institute. Anyway, this is not the time to tell you about the history of the institute. We are here for another purpose. But everything is going in fast forward motion for me. Right from the stage, when there was no idea of institute, it was floated. Right from when it was floated, I am fortunately the witness of it. So lots of tumult and crowd, commotion and chaos in my mind, because I am the witness of every moment of potential institute to actual institute, and now the 50th year of the institute. So once again, I extend hearty welcome, swagatam to all of you, and let's get going. Thank you.
If there is a lot of gap between rows, can you take it slightly forward? This is acceptable, but somewhere behind, there are big empty patches. So if you can please move forward. And if there are empty spots around you for enough for an entire mat, can you just raise your arm up so the volunteers know? Here, okay. So here behind there is one spot. Yes. Okay, there could be one spot here. The volunteers, there's one spot here. So in case somebody wants to come later, if there's a late entry. Now, we saw a few entries about people wanting extra props because it may not be possible for you to do the independent asanas. We have with us a few chairs, I think. We have chairs? We have.
Yes,
So
we
few
have
chairs,
10
yes.
chairs.
Yeah, somebody mentioned the horse. The thing is the horse will not come through the lift. You saw the lift. So what we have is the walls here. So for asanas where you may need the walls, you can move there. For those of you who've been to PYC earlier, we chose this venue over the one below just because there is open ventilation. Okay, so let's see how it goes. Now, if you find the audio is not clear, reach out to one of us. The volunteers, can you just raise your arms up so you could meet any of them? You can just remember a couple of faces. Yeah, you could reach out to any of us during the class any day. Yes, thank you.
So just now, I extended welcome to all of you. Now I extend welcome to all of you, all of yours, all of in you for the remaining of the session. I hope you have understood what I am trying to put across. Here, this is the condition when everybody is here. Everybody registered for this course is here. I want every mind to be here. Not just every body, every mind, psyche consciousness, every embodiment, everything that is yours integrally and in you integrally. There are certain in you aspects which should be present here. Some of the in you aspects should be not present, maybe need to be ousted, kicked out, set aside, surrendered, renounced, given up. So from expulsion to renunciation, certain things should not be here. So select aspects of yours and in you are expected to be here. Okay? So I welcome you, yours integrally, in you integrally, bona fide to be here. They should be all here. So let's get to invocation or prayers, whatever you call it. And I won't like to say kick off. Let's launch. Settle down. Understand what is meant by settle down. What is the concept, process, purpose? How would you conceive the concept idea of getting settled? Get connected. To the extent possible, try to probe the ideas and concepts which I am putting across. So getting settled, getting composed, go for necessary sanitization, What are the orientations? So what is the intakings? What is there to set away, sweep away? What is to be parted with? So what has to be partaken? And that's how the participation is. Breath by breath. Evolve the composite dynamics, collective dynamics. Not only something that you do, but yours, your body, your mind, your psyche, your consciousness, your memory, your thought, your cognitions and cognitions, they all participate in a coordinated way, cohesive way. So understand the concept of symphony that you require. See how it is effective when it is breath-led, spearheaded by breath and breath awareness. How do you breathe? You don't breathe to live, you breathe to become for the situation. So body, mind, breath, senses, speech, consciousness, thought, figure out how prismatic is the process. It is not solo performance. It's an orchestration. Now silently uttering Om, find out how it is impactful, what is its contribution, what is its role, purpose, what does it do your body, mind system broadly. If analyzed, there are so many other aspects coming in. Now, as we go for chant, it should be a chant and not to recite merely. Don't be reciting, uttering, but see that it is expected to be a chant. So it should be enchanting the community within. So how the embodiment reverberates, try to figure out as we go for the chants, which is by oral vocal system. What is the resonance of the embodiment to it? Oh. 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 Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोतं प्रवरं मुनीनाम् पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि आबाहुपुरुषाकारम् शङ्खचक्राढम् सहस्रशिरसं श्वेत प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिम् हरिः ओम्। Bow your head down to the heart and start there with exhalations. Drop the palms and open the eyes. Amen. Amplification ಸರಿಯಾಗಲ್ಲ
இல்ல கடைசியில பிரேக் ஆச்சு ஆம்பிளிஃபிகேஷன்.
Oh, hello. All of you come up. What did you do just now? What did you do just now? We were told to do Adhomukha Virasana. Most of you thought it is to sit and bend forward in Virasana, and therefore it's a posture. And we have big confusion because of communicating the subject in English. Asana is not just a posture. You just went for posture. You are meticulous about posture. Or if you do it, you will be more, suppose I teach now, I make you do, you will do it as a posture. It is highly inappropriate, improper, misleading, misguiding, blunderous to say that asanas are postures. Asanas are much more than postures. Therefore, I have formulated a kind of equation for it. Posture plus breathesture plus mindesture is asana for us. When it comes to posture, it can be sitting posture, standing posture, prone posture, supine posture, inverted posture, standing posture, forward bending posture, backward bending posture, lateral bending posture, lateral rotation posture. So that's how we classify postures. Is that right? So posture can be of any kind. Even now you are in a posture. You cannot be postureless. Posture is always there. In all the four states of consciousness, the posture doesn't leave you. Posture is there. But the concept here is asan. Asan literally means it's a seated position. It's a seat. Now, we don't say standing seat, sitting seat, prone seat, supine seat, inverted seat. And therefore, we should give up the usage of postures for what we really try to do. It is improper to call it posture. So it's a time that we give up referring to it as a posture. So if you are in Tadasana, are you seated? Then yoga expects you that any position that you take as asana, it should be a seated condition. So one of the basic aspects to be attended to is settle down. You can't be running and you can say, I am settled. You can't be climbing up and down and say, I am settled. So there are certain nuances of asanas, implications of asanas. It doesn't justify to call it as a posture. It's high time that we do away with such ideas, concepts, expressions, communications. Asan is asan. Basically, it should be a seat. Whether you are in Tadasan or Shavasana or Shirshasan, that in you should find a seat. It should be seated. And that which finds a seat is called chitta, for which there is no English word. There's not mind. There is no word in any other language because that concept is not there. Outside the realm of Indian philosophy. So that should find a seat, whether you are standing, whether you are inverted, whether you are supine, whether you are prone, whether you are forward bending or backward bending. It should be asan, and to be an asan, that in you should be seated. So therefore, let's try to identify. Once again, very formally, all of you go to Adhomukha Virasana. Adhomukha Virasana. Identify the posture. So you get the instructions about toes out, bend forward, stretch your arms, extend further, extend your pelvic abdominal region, diaphragm region, chest region, extend the back. So you are doing something in the anatomical part of the body which can be explained by biomechanics, which is by way of stretch, elongate, extend, contract, deflate, inflate, widen, narrow down, etc., etc. So straighten, stretch, elongate, extend, bend, etc. So these are all biomechanics. So that's how the posture is. And we try to look at this position only as a posture. But understand, Adhomukha Virasana has a breathesture. You breathe typical to position. the breath does typically for position. That's the breathesture. What is done for breath system, and what the breath and breath system does is the breathesture. So see that is also circumscribed in your negotiations. As you do voluntarily the posture, body actions, you voluntarily stretch, elongate, extend. What can be done voluntarily for breath and breath system? So try to describe it. Is it stretch the breath, elongate the breath, bend the breath, deflate the breath, inflate the breath, like it happens in the case of body? Figure out what happens with respect to breathology in you, breatho system in you. So find out it's not only a different posture, it is different breathesture. Now let's compare. Come up upright. Parvatasana hands, arms up. So you will say only posture has changed. Is that right? From Adho Mukha Virasana to Parvata Virasana. But I say even breathesture has changed. The way you breathe, what the breath does, what you can do for breath is typical, specific to position. Figure out, is that right? You can alternate between Adho Mukha and Utthita Virasana, Parvatasana hands. So you can alternate. It's not only body changing from forward bending to upright, but the breath is changing, breathesture is changing from forward bending to upright. So bend forward. It's not only body changed, posture changed. The way breathing takes place, the way you breathe, the way you can do for breath, and the way the breath can do is different. Its actions are different. Therefore, there is aspect of breathesture in what you do. So try to figure out what is that breathesture. Now come up. Am I putting it across what I want to? Let's not call it posture. Were you not in breathesture? You did voluntarily for body. Could you not do voluntarily for breath? The body did something for you. Can the breathesture not do something for you? Can it not participate? It's not only you do for body, body does. Similarly, you do for breath and the breath system does. Similarly, mind. So sit in Virasana. Keep your hands on the knees. Cup your palm on against the kneecap. Cup your palm against the kneecap. And make it functional for your back, chest, trunk. So that's the posture. So it's not just you are placing the palm there. The palm is functional. The palm has a participation. Palm has a role. Palm has an act. Is that right? It can address your back. It can address your spine. It can address your chest. Now, it's not only a posture. There is mind, breathesture. Now I say, all of you, be composed, relaxed, quiet, serene in mind. Is it not implied? Should your mind be wandering? You also have some certain specifics for mind, that the mind should be quiet, serene, sedate, settled, neutral, even. So are you not able to do anything for the mind? Now do Adho Mukha, and again I say, find out what can you do for mind, what can be done for mind, what can the mind do? Head down. Extend the arms forward. So there is also mind aspect in it, mental aspect in it. So you can keep your mind quiet. Does it mean that you were quite upright, you should be disquiet now? If you are settled there, does it mean you should be unsettled now? If you are composed there, does it mean you should be decomposed or uncomposed now? So basically, body, mind, breath systems should be addressed, should be addressing, should be used, should be using, should be applied, should be applying so there is something for you to do, for them to do. There is something for you to know, for them to know. There is something for you to sense and feel. There is something for them to sense and feel. Therefore, I am trying to put across that there is a breathesture, mindesture, and posture, which is a basic constituting factor for asanas. At our level, at our hierarchy, much more will come later. Now see, how is this position? Posture. Corresponding breathesture is there, corresponding mindesture is there. Because they are all working together in coordination, integration. So there is something for you to do for mind, and there is something for mind to do. There is something for you to do for body and something for body to do. There is something for breath to do and for you to do on breath, for breath, and there is something for breath and breathing to do. Now come up. Now try to go to Supta Virasana. If you need any support, you can choose the support. If you can do without support, do without support. You can have those supports under the back if you need. But if you can do without, do without. Outstretch the arms over the head. So you will say it's a different posture. Therefore, you call it Supta Virasana. But then where is the asana there? To bring in the asana, understand what has to be brought in. So see the whole, it's not only body changed, your breathing has changed. It is the minding has changed. So in asanas, I say there is a bodying, there is breathing, and there is minding. So has only posture changed? And has the breathesture not changed? Has the mindesture not changed? So why only say that this is a different posture in the set of Adhomukha Virasana, Virasana, and Supta Virasana? So there is a scope for all of them to change in their functional role. So here I say again, with respect to breath, a deeper inhalation, a deeper exhalation. So how the deeper inhalation and exhalation had a different function, different purpose in other Virasana positions that we tried. Now I say, should you not be composed? Should you not be quiet? Should you not be sane, sanity? So whether it is Virasana sanity or Adhomukha Virasana sanity or Supta Virasana sanity, what is the difference between the sanities? The word sanity is spelled in one way. So how will you be sane here? How will you be composed here? How will you be settled here? So you are supposed to be settled despite the activity. Don't be unsettled to create an activity. So understand the salient features of Yogasana, because Yogasana has come in Chitta Vritti scheme, Chitta Vritti management scheme. Let go and come up. So did you identify the posture, breathesture, mindesture? So we cannot just tell you about the posture: stretch, elongate, extend, lock, contract, expand, inflate, deflate, bloat, puff, soften, harden. We cannot just be conveying the biomechanics of it, because it is a composite dynamics. So try to arrive at what is the description with regards to breathesture and mindesture. Then the same differs between exhalation and inhalation. Suppose I say, inhale and be quiet. The word is to be quiet, quietude. I say exhale and be quiet. The word is same, quietude, spelling is same, literal meaning is same, but the process is different. Do you understand? The process is different. Even the purpose will have some attributary difference. To be settled despite inhalation, to be settled despite the exhalation, to be quiet despite the inhalation, to be quiet despite the exhalation, there are certain attributary changes in all those predicates such as quietude, tranquility. So let's try to trace the yoga in what we do. You will not be able to trace yoga in posture. In the postural process of it, you will not be able to identify all that. And understand how body, mind, breath, and systems are related to each other, which is a marvel. Which is a marvel to be identified, and we don't identify it. Because we are all obsessed with posture, skeletal-muscular system, anatomical system, endowments for body system, body organs. And therefore, we take yoga as a fitness scheme, that for you to be fit physically, we try to draw whatever is useful for that purpose to be keeping fit lifelong. It is possible that some of you have fit body. It is possible that some of you have a fit body. But that is your idea of fitness. Fitness is again a flexible concept. So let me try to explain it out. Raya Kabir. So he is fit to be doing what he does here. So he says, I have fitness, I have no problem. Somebody else, many of you will be having problems because of old age, some diseases, some maladies. But some of you might claim that you are fit. Now, if he is fit to be here, if he thinks that he is fit here for this, he is unfit to be a pilot. He is unfit to be astronaut. He is unfit to be military man. Because there are different criteria for fitness. So he might claim, I am fit. Then you send it to him into army, maybe he is rejected. Why? They will say unfit, not fit. So there are different criteria for fitness, even for body. So we may all be fit physically, but take it in right spirits, none of us are mentally fit. Take it in right spirits. None of us are mentally fit. Not only for this, but we are not fit for any endeavor in life. Diagnostic center will give you reports and it says everything perfect, healthy body, no disease, no problem. But any diagnostic center that is for mind, none of us will come with a negative report. All of us will come with a positive report, some problem here or there. We have some drawbacks, some problems which are influencing our life because of mind problems, mind diseases, mind dis-ease. So the fitness concept is again to be understood in a broader sense of the term, and not just anatomically fit, physically fit, organically fit is a fit person. So there are different criterias. So it is not proper to propagate yoga as a fitness plan, fitness scheme to keep fit physically and perhaps also promise to keep fit mentally. But we do not have a process which is tackling with any unfitness of body and unfitness of the mind for this particular endeavor. For this particular endeavor, it's a different criteria. We cannot be fit for every criteria that is there to be doing anything labor work, clerical work, intellectual work, or military work, police job, to be pilots in aviation, to be astronauts. Not everyone is fit everywhere. We should be fit there. So we should be fit for what we do. We need to develop fitness for what we are pursuing. You don't have to become fit for becoming a pilot. You don't have to become fit to become an astronaut. You don't have to become fit to become a military man. But what is required here to be fit should be considered. That should be on the anvil, and we have to see that we do something for that fitness. So basically, we have to understand the relationship between body, mind, breath. These are major systems: body system, breath system, mind system. So body, mind, breath, for human beings, there's a thought system. Will your thought system work without taking recourse to any language? Don't think in English, don't think in native language, don't think in your mother tongue. Not to use any language. What is your thought? What is your thought without any language? Is it possible? How far possible? That is speech. When we take recourse to language for our thought process, our thinking process, there is always a language. Your language, mother tongue, native language, your language. And language is meant for speech organ. So the understand relationship between thought process, and the speech. And that's why we say, now what is going on in you is a silent speech. During the class, what will go on is silent speech. And in my case, it will be oratory speech. This can be amplified. Your speech cannot be amplified. Okay? But yet there is a speech. So kaya, vacha, manasa is the kind of framework given by Adhyatma, spirituality. Yoga is a spiritual pursuit. One of the important aspects there is it is kaya, vacha, manasa. Because it is yoga, swasa, breath. So those are major systems: body system, breath system, speech system, mind system, thought system, memory system. None of you are first timer here. If you are first timer in the class, you have no memory baggage, but you have lots of memory baggage. Is that right? You cannot be locking your memory system and be here. That doesn't happen. So the memory system is working. That's why many of you are comparing with the class today and the classes that you had so far. None of you will say you are doing the usual way. It's an unusual way. Why? Because you have memory of all these years of your learnings in classes or your practices. And it is definitely coming in. Right memory should be surfacing rather than memory incompatible. Relevant memories should be encouraged. Irrelevant memories should be discouraged. And memory system is participating. You can't banish it. You can't say, I'm going to work with totally my mnemonic card I'm keeping back home and coming here. You can't do that. Mnemonic card has to be here. It is coming with you. It is integrated with you. Memory card is with you. You can't keep it back home. Maybe some of you have kept your debit card at home and you have come here because you don't have to swipe it here. But you can't keep that card back home and come here. So find out in yoga, are they coming? Because connotation, one of the connotation is coming together. Is it only you and me coming together here? Yours have to come together. Yours have to come in proper assembly, proper protocol, proper culture to come together. Stand up. Tadasana, face the front. Tadasana with Urdhvastasana hands. Attend to posture from soles of your feet to palms at the top. Attend to the posture from the soles of your feet, foot part, every latitude up to your tips of the finger part. Now you say it is a posture. Identify the breathesture. Because of the position, what you can do for breath and breathing, and what the breath and breathing can do for you and for your body is typical and specific. Even the normal breathing will be different than when the arms are down. Then customized breathing will be different because the arms are up. Now see, we don't relate this. Now I will say stretch your arm, elongate your arm, lock your elbow, animate your palms, animate your forearm, animate your upper arm, animate your socket, activate your socket to carpal, metacarpal, knuckles, MPs, knuckles and tips, nails. Now you only think this is body description. Now we unsight that the breathing is different here. Now I say all of you turn your palm facing the front. Lock your elbow. Is it a different lock? Bicep, tricep. The humerus, forearm bones. Is it different? Carpal, metacarpal, palm, knuckles. Is it different? So you only identify that, yes, the arms are different now. I say breathing is different. Even the breathing will be different. Normal breathing, involuntary breathing will be different between the first one and second one. So identify the breathesture of it. I have some prescription for breathesture as well, rather than only prescription for posture. So also mindesture. So we don't have these literacies and sensitivities to figure out. So straight mind, quiet mind, serene mind, settled mind, quiet mind. It changes between your palm position, whether in or out or front. Let go. So it is important aspect in our pursuit to understand the relationship between body system and other systems which you have identified. Body system, breath system, mind system, sense system, speech system, thought system, memory system, cognitive system, cognitive system, perceptive system. So many systems are working. It's a conglomeration. We are a huge assembly. So we have to try to identify the relationship between one system and rest of the systems, every one of the systems and with the other systems. What's the relationship? How do they interact? How they inter-respond? How do they inter-participate? We all believe it's all doing. You believe that what you are doing here is just doing. It's not just doing. There's coordination. There are responses. There are reactions. So it is interactive, inter-responsive. And these are not right the description to say it is activity. There are interactions. There are inter-responses. There are inter-motivations. There are inter-understandings. It's not only you should understand body, mind, breath, senses, psyche, consciousness. They have to understand each other. It's a field for them to understand each other. Inter-understanding. Not only your understanding and their understanding, but inter-understanding. Now, this asanas open out the field for this education, and that this education is very important for going for yogasana. So there is physical mind, there is breathetic mind, there is mental mind, there is psychological mind, there is emotional mind, there is physiological mind. So all those aspects are, we are complicated. Let's face that and don't just dub saying yoga is complicated. Let it be simple. We are a huge community of hundreds of trillions of cells. The globe doesn't have so much of population. Anyway, what is it to understand interrelationship between them? How do they work in a weave? Body, mind, breath, psyche, speech, consciousness, they have to work in a weave. That's the meaning of yoga. When they come together, that is yoga. They have to come properly together, that is yoga. So anyway, develop this habit of identifying the postural aspects, characterize it, postural aspects, characterize it, mindustural aspects, characterize it, and develop the skill to handle them. It cannot be taught to you. It cannot be taught to you. You have to develop that skill. For instance, James, come here. Suppose I decide to teach him body system, breath system, mind system, how they should be coordinated properly in a proper assembly, so that is the proper circuit diagram will give you the expected fruit and result. Is that right? Proper circuit diagram of all assembly. You can't just assemble the parts of it and say, this is television. Circuit diagram is given, assemble the parts, then it becomes television. That cannot be taught, because if I teach him today, it won't be valid tomorrow. In his next, maybe literally tomorrow, he's different tomorrow. It won't be suitable for him tomorrow when he's in another stage of life, next stage of life. He's another 10 years old, another 20 years old. It won't come handy. It has to be it has to be customized device subjectivistically. Therefore, we need embodiment literacy, not embodiment knowledge, not embodiment information. Okay, sit for a while. Let me venture to say something. Today's yoga is thriving on informations. All the teachers, particularly teacher clans, they want to collect information, stack up information, store information, get information. So in our time, the yoga has become a subject, if I may say so, yoga informatics. Yoga informatics. Because you are trying to get informations. Information is a component of knowledge. It's not the whole of knowledge. You need some information for knowledge structure, but that doesn't mean that structure of information itself is a knowledge. So we are going for informatics, yoga informatics. Because our time generation feels that yoga is not only meant to be practicing, yoga is meant to be teaching. So we are looking for material to teach. So there are some very enthusiastic people who come to my class to collect informations and then emit informations. That's yoga informatics. Beware of it. It's not information process, it's a knowledge process. However, information is a component. With no information, your knowledge structure cannot be raised up. But information is not everything for knowledge. So don't be specking informations like the bird speck and go back, settle on the tree, and they start eating thereafter. They start digesting thereafter. They just speck and speck and speck and fly away. And then sit somewhere, and then they will try to digest it. They will eat it. Specking is different than eating. We don't speck the food, we eat the food. Because our process of digestion commences from saliva, salivary gland in the mouth itself. The digestion commences in the mouth itself. But the birds have this nature tendency suitable to, because what they are birds, they have fear. So speck, 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 and go away. That's not they have eaten, they have specked. So let's not speck information. It has to be eaten, it should be digested, it should be assimilated. It should be processed. So let's just not try to spec informations, what you get in a class. It is for you to work on it. Therefore, Guruji often had to say with much more bitter words than I am using. He would say, don't go and teach what you have learned here. Because he identified the people come and they think they have learned for whatever duration and they go back and teach. That's why they would go back and put an ad. Fresh from Pune. Like all of us want to eat fresh vegetables. So students want to take fresh yoga from the teacher who has come from Pune. So fresh from Pune. Whatever Guruji taught them, they would start teaching it. They learn something in standing poses, teach it. Something in backbend, teach it. Something in twisting, teach it. That means we spec and don't go beyond. So all that you are getting in the class, don't take it as information and informatics. Yeah, information is required because your knowledge structure will not be raised up without informations. The process should be information. Formation from within. There has to be a formation. Knowledge will have a formation, and it is in coming from within. I remember on one occasion, Guruji said, whatever I taught in the class, don't go back and vomit. You have not digested what I have taught. If it comes out not being digested, what is it called? The food not digested, it comes out. It's called vomit. No, not being digested, what you have learned, if you try to utter it, it's a vomit. And you want your students to take your vomit. You want them to lick your vomit. So this yoga is something which is meant for you. Banish any teacher in you. Oust any teacher in you. The teacher in you is outcast. Don't allow the teacher to come in. Be a student for yourself. Anyway, relationship between basically body, mind, breath system, three systems. Therefore, posture, breathasture, mindasture. So you're all going for a state of mind. You are going for a gesture. You are going for a gesture. In every position, a gesture. It will be invisible to teachers. It will be invisible to me. But there is a gesture that you form within. And that gesture is personification of what? It should be personification of what? It should be personification of transcendence. You are not man, you are not woman, you are not young, you are not old, you don't have caste, class, creed, gender, stature, age, condition, etc. And then what should be the persona of gesture? Tranquility, neutrality, virginity, sublimity, purity, piety, sanctity, sanity, equity, equanimity, equilibrium. That is the persona. That is your gesture. Now, all that is not visible to me. That is not visible to a teacher. It is not visible to me that how somebody is very, very crooked and how somebody is candid and straightforward. I am not here to judge whether you are candid or whether unscrupulous. So these are invisible aspects. The gesture of the mind, psyche, consciousness is not visible to me. I won't look at your face whether you are quiet and serene. And that won't be a proper way to judge you. So that's called samasthiti, summed up, called samasthiti. It is not just equal state. In the physical dimension of the body and physical dimension of the mind, and the state of body and state of mind, it is samasthiti, inside out, outside in. What is that samasthiti? When are you equal? So these are the facets of that samasthiti: tranquility, neutrality, virginity, sublimity, neutrality, virginity, purity, piety, sanctity, sanity, equity, equanimity, equilibrium. Now see what has happened in our time yoga. When you are taking a yoga class, this is an outcast. What is encouraged? Harden, tighten, straighten, stretch, elongate, bend, rotate, pull, push, hard, soft. All biomechanics. That's why I get to know that there's a gesture of the position, and the gesture will be the same but with different attributary conditions or sometimes characteristic condition. For instance, stand up, Tadasana. So in Tadasana, I say, have quiet mind, serene mind. Now, how does it manifest? All those facets which I told you: tranquility, neutrality, virginity, sublimity, purity, piety, sanctity, sanity, equity, equanimity, equilibrium. Now, suppose I say Shavasana. You are supposed to get again same gesture. Okay. You must have same gesture, but it is constituted differently and it has a different purpose. So if I say Tada Shavasana, if I say Tada Shavasana, hybrid, Tada Shavasana, combination of Tadasana and Shavasana, how will it be? Now if I say lie down and say Shavasana, will it not be different? You will be quiet here, you will be quiet there. You will be serene here, you will be serene there. You will be placid here, placid there. Sublime here, sublime there. But it is totally differently constituted. It has a different purpose and function. So Tada Shavasana will not give you which. Now lie down, Shavasana. Lie down in Shavasana. Settle down in the formal position of it. So again you will go for the same. Instate, augment, escalate, bloom, blossom, give rise to tranquility, neutrality, virginity, sublimity, purity, piety, sanctity, sanity, equity, equanimity, equilibrium. But it has a different purpose, process. Can you figure it out? Being upright, being the crossbreed of Tadasana, Shavasana, and now just Shavasana. So the purpose changes, process changes, consequence changes. Come up. Attributary qualities did not change. You are going for same. Tranquility, neutrality, virginity, sublimity, purity, piety, sanctity, sanity, equity, equanimity, equilibrium. Is that too fast? These are key words in asanas, whereas our keywords of asanas: shin, femur, deltoid, trapezium, bicep, tricep, knee joint, elbow joint, vertebral column, neck, buttocks, hips, feet, metatarsal, tarsus, carpal, metacarpal. It has become so much physical. But the thread which should run through your process is to see that it complements, it raises up, it contributes for tranquility, neutrality, virginity, sublimity, purity, piety, sanctity, sanity, equity, equanimity, equilibrium. Then that is the mind gesture, that's the gesture. Be that Tadasana, be that Shirshasana, be that Virabhadrasana C, be that Urdhva. Now that should be struck. We just go for posture. We don't go by breath gesture and mind gesture. In the teaching process, it should be photogenic pose, photogenic position. Why not breathogenic position? Why not mindogenic position? So let's try to understand these ideas that your any asana should be not only photogenic for camera lens, but should be breathogenic, mindogenic. And much more than that, because photogenic face is only for photograph. It is only for display. It is only for someone to see. So that's the appearance aspect, which is photogenic, breathogenic, mindogenic. What is more important is that there must be It must be field, suitable field for body system to work, breath system to work, mind system to work, and those systems to be worked upon. That is implied in yogasanas. Now you're all familiar with the posture. Now I suggest all of you go for Adhomukha Shvanasana, breathesture. The posture should be incidental. The posture should not be causal. The posture should be a consequence of breathesture. Can you go about that? Start. Adhomukha Shvanasana. Right away breathesture. Right away breathesture. The posture should fade in. Because of breathesture, the posture should fade in. It should be a consequence. You all make it causal. So make your posture as effectual rather than being causal. Learn this engineering. Develop the skill. Don't do the posture and attend to breath. Attend to breath and breathing and let the posture be consequence. What is the process? So see that the breath is doing. Breath means in breath, out breath, post-exhalative retention, cyclic breath, circuitous breath, linear breath. All those are implications, nuances of breathing system. Then your normal breathing, heavy duty breathing, light duty breathing, feather touch, heavy duty. Then it can work like a pneumatic force. Let go. Come up. Now we have air all around us. Is that right? We have air, matter. Air, matter, air all around us. But is the air working pneumatically around us? If it starts working pneumatically, each one of you will blown away from here. If the air works pneumatically, all of you, all of us will be blown away from here. So that's the function of that matter, air, gaseous matter, called pneumatic force, pneumatically working. So that pneumatic air will blow us, will unsettle us. Even if you are not really physically blown, it will unsettle you. Imagine Americans, you get tornado in your city. What happens to you? Are you not unsettled? Do you enjoy? Oh, wonderful breeze. Like you stand at the sea beach and enjoy the breeze of the ocean, from the ocean. Oh, you say, let me enjoy tornado. It unsettles you. Now here the breath will work pneumatically, which will only blow Rajatama gunas from you. It can blow Rajatama gunas, at least blow Tamoguna. It will at least blow the inertia, dullness, torpidity, Tamoguna in you. Pneumatic breath. That's called heavy duty breath. The things will become, they will be yielding to you. They will become wieldy. You will be able to wield them and they will be yielding to you. That is called pneumatic breathing. It is not unsettling anything in you. It is not blowing you from here. It will blow the tamoguna. Now that's the breathestiral aspect. Heavy duty breath, normal duty breath, feather touch breath. Light duty breath, which will give you quietude, sublime condition, noble condition, serene condition, placid condition, passive condition, pensive condition, reflective condition, noble conditions. Light duty breath will do. So by that, Incidentally, let me tell you this. Now, we are all here, and in our embodiment, all that is ours, there it is constituted by Raja, Sattva, Tamo gunas. These are three gunas according to metaphysics: Sattva, Raja, Tama. So we should be well versed about the ideas and concepts of Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Sattva-guna. What are they? See, none of you are here lazy now. You think Tamoguna means to be lazy, but none of you are lazy. None of you are torpid. Cannot be affording to be in a torpid state. So torpidity is not there. Dullness, hopefully not there. So if you are dull, you say, I am tamasic. If you are having inertia, you said, I am tamasic. And therefore now you say, I am not tamasic at all. There is no tamoguna because I am not lazy, I am not inert, I am not dull. But can we claim that I am wise? Each one of us, can we claim I am wise? I am wise. Stupidity of some magnitude is within us. Stupidity is also tamoguna. Whatever degree of stupidity that we have. So when you say I am in stupor, I am stupid, that's a tamoguna manifesting. Oh, I am being very stupid now, or I was stupid then, that is tamoguna. So tamoguna, you don't just understand as laziness, torpidity, dullness. None of you are having any infatuation. I can say that with a claim that none of you have infatuation. But delusion is also tamoguna. Perhaps you will say, I am not deluded. I am not deluded also. Fact of the matter is something else. If I say, I am Prashant Iyengar, I am in delusion. It is delusion. I am Prashant Iyengar. And if you say, I am American, I am John, I am Jill, I am Joan, I am John, it's all delusion. It's all delusion. To think that I am a man, delusion. To think I am a woman, delusion. To think I am young, old, strong, weak, healthy, delusion. That is not you who is strong or weak or man or woman or young or old, etc. It's not you. We are all ageless. We don't have gender. That is not having gender. It is having gender that you call as body and mind. You don't have, you are transcendent. So the moment I think I am Prashant, I am Iyengar, I am son of Guruji, it's all delusion. I am under delusion. So Rajatama gunas, Sattva Rajatama gunas are indeed manifest in some proportion, in some way or the other. So what are Sattva guna attributes, characteristics? What are Rajoguna attributes and characteristics? What are Tamoguna attributes and characteristics? As students of yoga, you must have some knowledge about it, at least information about it. So what is on surface is Sattva Rajatama gunas. In some proportion, it cannot be exclusive Sattva guna or exclusive Rajatama gunas. It is always a combination in different proportions. So maybe Sattva exalted triad, Rajo exalted triad, Tamo exalted triad. It's always a triad, combination of the three. So we have to see that that is set right desirably. That's the management. Now we don't want Tamoguna to bubble up. So we will do something to mitigate it. discourage it, keep it at bay. Similarly, Rajoguna. Because Sattva Guna is expected to be exalting for our endeavor. So, a composed state in you, mind quiet, mind serene, mind getting knowledge, taking knowledge, working with knowledge. Then that is Sattva Guna. A luminous condition, illuminating condition, illuminated condition, quite serene condition, without malignancies in the mind, that is Sattva Guna. If there is any malignancy, by way of you hate, you dislike, you have detest, then it is not Sattva Guna. So we have to do the Guna management in what we do. All of you stand up. Trikonasana, 4 feet apart. Whatever support you need, you can go. If you need a wall, you can take the support of wall or whatever you need. If you need a brick, take a brick. I am not here to assess your posture. So don't hesitate to use a brick. I am not here to assess you. How well you do posture. Now, you are doing. Now, can you figure out? At the same time, you are sensing. Are you not sensing anything? You are knowing. Are you not knowing anything? Is it only doing, as it is suggested in the class, implied in the class? Do legs, do buttocks, do back, do arms, do spine, do chest, do waist, everything doing. But figure out, are you not sensing? Are you not feeling? Are you not observing? Are you not knowing? So it's a combination which is dubbed as doing. You say, I do Trikonasana. The fact of the matter, there is also some aspect that there is knowing of that. So there is some kind of cognitive activity, sensitive activity, perceptive activity, mnemonic activity. Have you kept entire memory at bay that you have collected so far in all your years, tens of years, 20, 30 years or whatever years? They are coming in. Memory is coming in. Memory should come in. Only you have to see that the memory comes properly in a right way. Wrong memory should not come. In wrong way, it should not come. Memory is playing a part. So we have a memory system, pan body. It's not only you remember. It's not only you remember, which they say as mnemonic system. It is pan body. Your back foot, back leg, front leg. They have their memories. So figure out this. Let's try to analytically understand. There is cognition, perception, sensation, memory, thought, creative imagination, constructive imagination, contributing imagination. Don't imagine that you are BKS. It won't be contributing. So see that creative imagination. So you are supposed to have even imaginative act. That is implied in a yogasana, not in a posture. Inhale and come up. Turn the foot in and feet together. So is it right on my part to say that it was not just doing? There were other verbs coming along with it, which I refer to as verbology. You can't just say it was doing and I have done. you are knowing, you are sensing, you are feeling, you are observing, you are understanding, you are comprehending, you are remembering, you are thinking. So cognitive, sensitive, perceptive, sensitive act, all these acts are there. Memory act is there. Imagination is there. So when you have good kind of baggage of yoga of all these years, you will also have contributing imagination, not fanciful imagination. In vernacular, we have a special word for it. Unfortunately, English doesn't have. What is the faculty for a poet? Poet. Can you have a poet who doesn't have any imagination, any damn imagination at all? Can somebody be a poet? How somebody becomes a poet? How somebody becomes a literator? Lots of imaginations are there. And we have the word for it, which is called pratibha. So the complementary imagination should be there. Imagination also helps you drive your position, drive your asana. If you don't have any suitable, proper, contributing imagination or valuable imagination, you will be stuck in in your ability. So what is the scope for you to be having proper, suitable, compatible imagination, which contributes for your driving the position, driving your endeavor? So maybe in English, you have to call intuitive intelligence. But there is no such word in English at all, proper, which is being referred to. Imagination is a loose translation. It's a creative process. Creativity should be there. Because if you are not creative, then you become dogmatic. If you are dogmatic, what you are able to do today, you will not be able to do after another 10 years. So when you cannot do something that you could do earlier, you get frustration, despair, dejection, and not happiness. You will never say, I was doing Shirshasana for 45 minutes. Now I can't do more than 10 minutes. You don't say, I'm happy, but you are sad that you were doing 45 minutes and now you have reduced, come down to 10 minutes. So you need to be creative so that is set right. Any deficiency is set right. That was Guruji's nature. He lost Paripurna Matsyendrasana. He lost Viprit Chakrasana. He lost many asanas. He was never in melancholy because the posture was not important. He was not looking at posture. He never could not get the posture of light on yoga at the age of 90, 95. But there was no melancholy. Why? Because he was creative. With the given condition, how I can be spirited to continue and not dispirited with all deficiencies which are coming behind you. All senior practitioners have this baggage, enormous baggage, which is unwieldy of despair. I was able to do, now I cannot. So if you are creative, you don't have to go back for you to have some kind of memories and then enjoy the memories. You should be creative. So there is also inherent creative process in what you do. The creative people can handle the life conditions better than a dogmatic person or uncreative person. Non-creative person has a problems in life. The creative person doesn't have so many problems in life. Because he can maneuver the conditions which come, which are negative conditions, not compatible condition, not propitiating conditions, he will still negotiate through, maneuver. Therefore, creativity is an outcome of asanas, not physical fitness. Creativity. That's why Guruji could do his yoga for 85 years, 80 years. He could do his yoga. Never slip into the melancholy. Oh, I was doing then, now I can't do. So what you can do in prime age will not be possible for you to do in your adult age or old age. But then it should not be living melancholy baggage on your, loading you with melancholy baggage. You should be creative. So knowledge process grows by age. This is the problem of human manifestation. You take a birth, go up to prime age, plateau for some time, reel down. So the graph will be like that, ascending, plateau, descending. Wisdom-wise, it can be always ascending. It can be ascending. Yoga is a wisdom process. Ability, inability, incapacity really doesn't come. It's all because we are obsessed with the idea posture, 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 posture. This is posture. I was able to do, now I cannot do. I was doing well, I don't do well. It's a wisdom process and not enhance the ability. You can enhance the ability during your reaching the prime age or during the prime age. Once you are up the hill, there is no way to go up. You have to come down. And we do come down. So develop proper perspective in our approach. Okay. So there is verbology involved, doing, sensing, feeling, knowing, understanding, comprehending, trying, observing, experimenting. So see how many verbs are coming in. Do you do just Trikonasana? Should you not experiment? Doing is different than trying. Doing is different than knowing. Doing is different than sensing. So see that you give rise to all the processes to fall in place. So something